Well, today we're doing basically some prep work for some future videos. I know for a fact that I'm going to need a couple of tools to do videos for you over the next few months. And I thought this would be a good time to show you how to make those so you can have them on hand. So when we make those food projects, you'll have them as well. So stay tuned and see how fun and easy and what these are. All right, the first set of tools I'm going to make today, I'm going to make a new couple of sets of, I guess I would call them spacers. These are the things I put on each side of my clay, that I roll my clay roller over them, and I get a nice even depth on my clay. I get it all the same thickness. So on camera, I'm going to do the three deep one, and then off camera, I'll do one that's 2 sticks deep. So I'm using craft sticks for these. I like to keep a set, just keep some that are single layer in my clay. I have a little drawer unit, one of those little 3-drawer plastic organizers. And I keep a lot of my clay tools in that. I usually keep a pair of craft sticks so that I can use those to get a layer of clay that is that thick. Sometimes I need something thicker, and we've got some projects coming up, like I said in the intro, that are going to require different thicknesses of clay. So I thought I need to make some new tools. I've lost some of them. I've broken a couple. They do wear out. They get gross. You know, you get stuff all over them. So make nice fresh ones. So I'm going to start with these. These are the thick ones. So I'm going to take for each side. You'll need a total of 6 sticks for this first one that I'm going to make on camera. And you'll also need clamps. I like to use these Dollar Tree clamps. They work really well. You can find them on the Crafter's Square aisle in Dollar Tree. And you can get clamps a lot of places. A lot of craft stores, a lot of hardware stores have clamps. You may even have some around the house. You can use clothespins if you don't have any. All right, so I'm going to put glue on 2 of these and line them up as best you can. And I'm managing to get glue all over myself today. Now get these stacked up as straight as you can. And when you're looking for your craft sticks, look for ones that are relatively straight. A lot of times they'll be bowed, and those don't work very well for this. I like to start with one big clamp in the middle, and then put a smaller one on each end, and then let this glue dry, because you want these to stay together. So we're going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to get a wet wipe and clean up my tray off camera. Okay, that was a really crooked one. I'm not going to use that one. I didn't realize how crooked that one was. Let me see. That's better. Yeah, that one would have been really difficult to work with. I like to get a little extra glue on rather than not enough. I want this to really stick together. But you don't need to use anything like wood glue or anything like that. And if you've got, pieces of the like basswood strips that are the right thickness, you can use those. But I like doing this because then I can make new ones whenever I need them. So I'm going to set those off aside to dry. I'm going to clean up my mess, and I'll come back and we'll work on another tool that I'm kind of working the details out, but I think I'm ready to put it together. So I'll be right back. Oh, all right. Now with summer coming, I want to do some grilled foods for the dolls. So I've been trying to think about how do I make grill marks to make them look like they've been cooked on a grill. So I kind of devised what I'm calling a grill mark tool for doll food. To start out with, I have some 4 squares to the inch graph paper that I have actually taped to my work tile. I have some wide masking tape that is taped sticky side up over it. And I have taken 7, 2, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 6 bamboo skewers like this from the kitchen, and I used some pet nail trimmers. I cut off 2 4.5-inch long pieces off of each one. I chose 4.5 inches simply because that's how big this ruler happens to be. It was an easy one to use to mark it with. But I figured 4.5 inches is bigger than anything we'll make in food for the dolls, so it will be a good size to make, so we know it will be big enough to use no matter what. Make sure everything is nice and square. And I'm going to start with this mark here. And I'm going to attempt to keep these pretty evenly lined up, lining up the ends to about that mark. And I'm going to try and do my best to center the line going this way in the center of each bamboo skewer. This way these will be nice and straight, which will make them a lot more believable when we go to put marks on our food. And depending on what we're making the food with, we'll be using this a couple of different ways. I had thought about making this tool and those stack tools. First off, if I made them off camera, you guys wouldn't know how to make them. If I made them in the first video, like this tool, I plan to use multiple times. I figured if I make the tool now, rather than as part of a food tutorial, if I make it as a separate video, it's easier to just refer you guys back. Like say we make a grilled steak. Okay, we're going to need the grill mark tool that we made in this video, and here's a link to the video to make the tool. That way I don't have to show you how to make one every time we use it. And there's a good thorough directions on how to use it instead of me just showing you the tool and saying, here, I made this. And this is kind of how I did it, which is never a good way to do things. Okay, so we've got, and see this goes pretty quickly. Oops, that one is off. And I'm probably going to turn the camera off when I get done and make sure everything's lined up because I want to get my head directly over this. Let's go a little further so you guys can see it a little better. But it goes pretty quickly. I'm also going to straighten these up so they are straighter on this end, but I just want to show you the idea. All right, I'm going to get these all straightened up exactly how I want them, and then I'll come back and we will put these craft sticks on there, and then I'll show you how to keep it together until it's done, until it's dry. All right, I'm happy with how those are. They're not perfect, but they're close enough. Now I'm going to cut my tape so that I can pull this paper out. I'm going to leave the masking tape under there, but I'm not going to leave this paper because I don't want to glue to the paper by accident. It's okay if the tape is under there, it will come off. Now, I'm going to attempt to get this on fairly straight. Whoops, that one looks like it moved. And if they're not perfectly straight, it's okay. They need to be as straight as you are happy with. Some glue here. And then one in the middle. Put yeah, I've been thinking about how to do grill marks on the doll food for a while. And this is one of those ideas that came to me in the middle of the night one night a while back. All right, the cap on my glue. And now I have a brick. Bought this at, I don't know, Home Depot, Lowe's. Very carefully place it straight down on and let it sit. This glue is going to need to dry I'm going to let it dry for at least a couple of hours. I want this glue to be completely set, and then we're going to come back and glue some more pieces on. So I'll be back when this dries. All right, this is dried overnight, so the glue should be all set up. Now I am going to remove it from the tray first, the tape, turn it over, and then hold down, because these bamboo skewers are not always the same diameter, so there may be a few that are not glued everywhere. So I'm going to go through, like right here. That one is not. So I am going to, is the third one? Which one was it? It was the second one. Okay, and do your best to get it centered again. And then I am going to clamp that. I'm going to do the same thing at the other end. That one got a little crooked, that's okay. All right. And then I'm going to add an additional craft stick right here. Just so it's a little thicker, it'll be a little easier to pick up. I've been kind of thinking, what can I add to this to make it easier to pick up when I'm using it? And I think just putting the extra layer there will make it a little easier to grab that center one. We may not need that, but that way it's just a little heavier there. That way I can grab it easier. So I am going to let this glue dry. When this is dry, I'll come back and we'll look at both of the things that we made. All right, my glue has had a while to dry, so let's take all the clips off. It's still a little wet there, but that's okay. I'm not going to be using this for a few days, and I do recommend when you get ready to make this that you make it at least a day or two ahead of when you're going to be using it, so that this glue is completely dry. Therefore, I won't be showing you how it works, unfortunately. But we will be doing some videos with this over the summer, and I will refer you back to this video for the instructions for this. By putting that extra little bit on there, I've got a little more to grip. So we've also got our stacked craft sticks, which this is the one I did on the video, and this is the one I did off camera. So these are going to be really useful for making doll foods over the next, in the future. Be sure and check the blog post. I'll have photos over there, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I decided to do this, why we are timing this way, and maybe a few hints about what we're going to be doing in the near future. If you enjoyed the video, be sure and hit the like button. Let me know what kinds of summer type foods you'd like to see in the next few months. If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, I encourage you, hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.